What's going on, you guys? Welcome you guys to the channel. It's your boy Big Dog back with another one take review. Today I got one for The Witcher season 2, which was highly anticipated. I think a lot of people was waiting for the show to come back because the first season came through and kind of like blew a lot of people away. So even though the way the show was set up and orchestrated and presented to us was very, very confusing, this season we don't have that problem. Everything's pretty much in like chronological order. We don't have stuff going back and forth for 1,000 years in the future and 2,000 years in the past. We didn't have that problem this time. So overall with this season, I must say I enjoyed it, but I don't know what it was for me personally, but I felt like something was missing. Now, one thing about The Witcher, I think if you're going into it looking for like some kind of like just crazy battles and stuff like that, that's not what you're going to get. And I think one of the reasons I was kind of thrown off is because of with everything the first season set up, I thought we was gonna get like payoff from that, because the whole thing was like Geralt finding Ciri, Yennefer with her powers. I'm thinking all of that, would lead to something, revolving around them. But in all actuality, this season pretty much mainly focused around Ciri training, Geralt keeping her away from everything, and Yennefer trying to get her powers back for the most part. And for me, I wanted more from those characters, just to be frank. But I do now. This is why I'm not complaining about this season, because, like I said, I enjoyed it. I think with everything they did this season is going to set up something special for next season, right? Because I kind of feel like this got all of that other stuff out the way. We know what Ciri is. We know like the potential in which she has, and how valuable she is to the rest of the world. Elves, humans, all of them. You have that, combined with the fact that Yennefer finally has her powers back, and even she realizes what Ciri means. So now she's being trained. Ciri is literally about to be trained by Yennefer, a powerful, somebody who's well versed in chaos, and a Witcher, and Geralt. Now the only thing bad about that is because that's what Ciri literally did most of this season, is train. You feel me? Like, she wanted to go get active, but like, you're like, man, chill. Like, you don't have to do that. You feel me? So, in those regards, I'm like, all right, where we headed? But I think the show is more about the lore, world building. I think that's what this season definitely did. Okay, we get to see different elements, and get to see like how the elves are treated elsewhere, and like them trying to like branch out into their own, and the whole the deadly witch. I think that's like Hut, whoever that lady was in that little hut. Because obviously, people, this contains spoilers if you haven't seen it. And so her whole thing was like how she strengthened herself is through pain. So I know Fringilla, something bad was gonna happen. And then the relationship with the elves kind of like broke down once they're like, hey, oh, we have a full blood elf. We don't need y'all no more. We're not gonna fight no war for y'all. Okay, we more focused on. And I don't think I could think at that moment. I'm like, well, they didn't want y'all here in the first place. And this is just my thing when I'm looking at the elves. Y'all have to protect. Obviously, y'all job now is to kind of like protect this elven baby, right? How are y'all gonna do that if y'all aren't fighting? Because if these places get invaded, y'all putting the child at danger because y'all haven't been training. So them just stopping completely, that didn't make sense to me, because like, oh, well, we're gonna have to focus on multiplying our people. I'm like, yeah, but don't forget how y'all even got to this. Like, these people did y'all a favor. Granted, y'all were pretty much like persecuted, mistreated already. So like, I was fucked up in the first place. But like, You know it wasn't gonna come with nothing. You feel me? It was just like I don't think that was thought through, especially with like the deal that they had brokered. I kind of feel like they just there's part of me feel like they went back on their word and they just like, okay, well we on our get back, you know. So when they killed the baby, I didn't think they were gonna kill the baby. That was just me. I'm like, there's no way they killed the baby. Definitely killed the baby. Like definitely killed the baby. So she went back killing other people's baby. I'm just like, okay, you have so many different sides, but that was also the thing that kind of got to me because we keep hearing about Redania, the white something, just so many different things. I'm just like, wow, I'm liking this, but I don't feel like I feel like I have to go back and rewatch the season in order to really like pick up on some stuff, you know, because one we had a 2 year hiatus. And technically, I could have went back and watched the first season, but I don't think everybody has the time to do that. So, but like Netflix recaps are really good, and I watched the one they have on YouTube, not the one that comes on before the show. I watched the one they have on YouTube, which is 15 minutes, and it was in chronological order. So I'm just like, okay, everything I remember all of this stuff. Boom, everything came back to me, but it's more. It was deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? This is a show I definitely feel like you have to binge, and you can watch it episode by episode and digest it like that. But I feel like when you binge it, your stuff is fresh on your mind, and so you're able to connect the dots more. And even though I binged season 2, it was still difficult for me to keep up with like other things that were happening. You know, because we have a new mage that was introduced, this fire guy who was out here, you know, making deals. Uh, it was just so much, you know what I'm saying? So much information to try to take in. And if you asked me what was the season about, I felt like this season was about discovering what Ciri meant to the world, while also keeping Ciri isolated from everything else. Because I feel like she was isolated. Like she never really was, as much as she was the focal point, I never felt like she got a lot, you know? And Geralt, he's somebody we want to see adventuring and questing and stuff like that. I kind of feel like they also isolated him as well. Yennefer was out there doing a lot. She was getting put in some tough situations and everything. But in a show like this, I'm just like, I want more things happening. Because then we got the stuff with the monoliths, beings coming from different like spheres. I'm assuming the spheres are planets. Planets. The connection between that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to need somebody to totally break this down to me because I don't fully understand. And that could just be me and the way I consume content, or the fact that I'm not necessarily used to watching shows like this, or even reading material like this, to where everything's not, I'm gonna be honest, everything's not given to you, okay? You have to really pay attention and connect some dots. And I don't think I did a good job on that. So I can't fault the show for, but I do think as a show in which you would want to make this like appealing to mainstream audiences, I would think you would want it to be easier to follow. You don't have to dumb it down completely to the point to where you like the show loses its creativity. I don't think that at all. But I think it has to be a way to where you want somebody a cat. I don't think you. If I'm just chilling and I've never seen The Witcher and I walk in, I'm at a friend's house and they just got an episode on. Can I sit down and just watch an episode, a random episode with them, and think to myself, "Ooh, I want to get up in that," you know? And then obviously I would be confused because I don't know anything. But then when I go watch the show myself and I'm still just as confused, I'm like, okay, Well, that didn't help at all. You feel me? That just me personally. I enjoyed the new monsters that were introduced. Wish we would got a couple more because once they like said the different monsters were coming through the portal, I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I also enjoyed like being around like the other Witchers and how they like all treated Ciri different, and to the point where like she became, like family to them. Now the only thing I didn't appreciate, and I've never appreciated stuff like this, is it's like the sacrifices of lives. Um, Meaning it was a situation in which this toward the end. Oh my bad. I got a text message. Um, when Seer was body was taking over, and the monsters were coming through the portal, and they were like, "Oh, don't hurt her." I'm like, we're losing people. Like I'm losing, and like the head, I think his name Vesemir. He's like, I'm losing brothers or sons, whatever he considered them as, for her. Like after they were gone, after the battle was over and they got Ciri back and everything, that's cool. And I understand he regretted what he was about to do, but I'm kind of looking at Vesemir like, you just lost a lot of people, and I understand the job of a Witcher is to protect, make sure nobody dies. But I was just like, this wasn't that situation. It wasn't like we were trying to protect our own people and we died because of this. It's kind of, I felt it kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? I felt some type of way about that if I'm keeping it a bean. Um, for almost betraying Geralt and him being heartbroken by that. Oh God, like the first 4 or 5 episodes, I want to say, when he was interacting with people who knew Yennefer was alive and nobody was telling him, I'm just like, bro, come on, man. The girl, the other what are they? I don't even know. I think she's a mage. Tissaia. No, it's not Tissaia. Trissa. I think that's her name, Trissa. When she was talking to Geralt and they brought up Yennefer, just like she's not gonna tell him. And I understand why shows do this a lot, where they just kind of like they put it in front of you. When she started naming people who were dead and he cut her off, I just like I get why they do it. I'm just like, damn, bro, like just somebody please tell him that she's alive. You know, the way she came in, they met was kind of like anticlimactic. She just like walked in, he just sensed it was her. It was great seeing the old boy Yaskevir. Yaskevir, I think that's his name. It was great seeing him again. Um, he's funny. Sometimes like he's kind of feels out of touch with what's going on. I understand he's like the comedic person, but I kind of feel like sometimes it's misplaced. But overall, man, I'm gonna be real. I enjoy it, but I think just like the first season, I'll like it more on a second viewing. So if I have the time in the coming weeks to rewatch it, I'm gonna come back and do another video on it just to see how my experience was different from the first time I watched it. And it wouldn't be that hard because even if I watched the episode a day, I think I pick up more things the second time around. You feel me? But yeah, that's my review for The Witcher season 2. You guys if you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys staying safe, and your boy catch up with y'all later.